if you're vocal and you whine enough, characters can get nerfed. This is so problematic because certain characters don't get nerfed at all. Like Clive, Anna, Nina. Please nerf Nina. Honestly, in Season 2, she's much better than Bryan. I wouldn't use the wording, she's much better than Bryan. I would say she is stronger than Bryan, but it's with a couple of pixels. I've played both Nina and Anna extensively, and this is the conclusion I've come to. Both Nina and Anna need further nerfs. Absolutely correct. But Bryan also needs nerfs. Come on. What's up, guys? TheMainManSWE here. Hoping you're all doing awesome as always, and welcome back to the lovely world of Twitter. I gotta say, I flushed Twitter down the toilet, I think it was 5 years ago, and I've never looked back. It's a gigantic piece of shit platform. Yeah, I gotta say, it adds nothing of value to the world. It is interesting to glimpse this world because it tells you how basically Tekken 8, it's almost impossible for Tekken 8 Season 2 to recover because we all know basically half a roster needs nerfing, if not more, because the developers have doubled down on overtuned attacks. Even my own character, you know, Kazuya, why does he have Scourge? Down 1+2? What the hell is that low? Why does he get extended heat? He should run out of heat when he has 1 pixel of heat bar remaining and he does Hell Sweep Heaven's Gate. But then he recovers a little bit, so he gets another Devil Mix-Up. Why was that added? You know, all of our characters need nerfing. But it's never going to happen when grown men on Twitter, we have right now like Nee and Arslan and plenty of other pros debating Bryan's OP, Anna's OP. No, your character's OP. My character is balanced, but your character's the offender. Your character's broken. In one breath, everyone agrees, like, we need to nerf everyone. But in the next breath, they'll say, why did Jin get nerfed? Why did Jin's Heat Smash get nerfed? Where's his Scourge? What happened to his Demon Paw? Why is 214 unsafe? Nerf the other characters. Don't nerf my character, he's balanced. And then the developers, you know, who spend time on Twitter, they gotta see all this shit, you know, like, oh, I thought you guys wanted nerfs, but now we nerfed this character, and that didn't work for that character's community, blah, 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 blah. It's basically Nee. I know he's done this before. He's talking about how Bryan is a very difficult character. It takes a lot of years to play him, which is true, And he says that, therefore, the character isn't as strong as people say. The character is OP. I made a video on this. Like, he is more demanding than your average, like, you know, brain dead top tier in Tekken 8 Season 2, particularly. And I don't think he's as dumb as he was in Season 1, but he's still a very stupid character, you know, albeit takes some work, you know. Nee is correct when he says that, takes work. And he is duking it out on Twitter, debating Arslan, and they're just trash-talking one another. No, you don't know what you're talking about, motherfucker. And I think they even said, oh, let's duke it out a year from now. Let's do a 1st to 10. I'll play your character, you play mine. Nee is shit-talking Nina, saying Nina is brain dead and stronger than Bryan, or easier and stronger than Bryan, which is true, Me, Nee, I'll play your shit character. I'll play Nina. Arslan, you show me your Bryan. Show me you can play that character. And Arslan's like, of course, motherfucker, you know, I'll taunt shit up your fucking anus. Okay, so I made that one up. But that's basically the gist of it. So here we see a post looking at Nee's way of argumenting this, his debating. Nee, again, this doesn't make sense. A top 3 character doesn't require any random player to be able to succeed with them. This is a response to Nee saying, like, Bryan might be top character, but he's very hard to play. Could anyone just pick up and play Tekken 7 Akuma? What is your argument? Yeah, Tekken 7 Akuma, of course, was horrendously broken. He was the best character by far in Tekken 7, but he was mechanical skill was required. He was execution-wise tough. Not everyone could pilot that character. But Ni's response here is, Akuma is not Tekken, so I don't want to compare him to Bryan, because Bryan is Tekken. And he absolutely makes a point here, because Akuma wasn't Tekken. Akuma would demon flip above all over the neutral. He jumped over the neutral in a game that didn't have anti-airs. And he could launch you from a jab. He had 1-frame startup invincibility. He had a low that killed you on hit. It was +7 on block. He had insufferable tech traps that would launch you left and right. Giga broke him 50-50. He had fireballs. He had supers. He had a teleport that rendered him invincible. He had special cancels. For sure wasn't Tekken, you know. I still tip my hat, you know, to the developers, because I thought it was super ballsy putting Akuma and bringing all of his 2D Street Fighter mechanics into Tekken. It was very ballsy, but it was impossible to balance. So I'm Team Ni here. You can't compare Akuma to Bryan. But say here, you have to play Akuma to prove he's top 1. You have to play Bryan to prove he's top 1. Because he's sort of saying here that, Arslan, why don't you play Bryan? Show me how OP he is. So don't just say it, play Bryan and prove it. Everyone can say it, but if you can't prove it, it's not credible. So this is where a lot of people are talking about how Ana and Nina are broken, which they are. They are probably top 1, top 2, respectively. They're both easier to pilot than Bryan, especially Ana. Ana is a deadly combination of 20 IQ shit brain, can play her, but she's like the best character in the game as well. Ana is a joke, in my opinion. It's just a joke. As dumb as Bryan is, who do you see play Bryan in tournaments? It's basically Ni and Lowhigh. That's it. Everyone else tier horse. Everyone else is a tier sexual, and you know it. Look at Atif Bot and everyone dropping Dragonov, and they're now playing Ana instead. Do you think that's because they love Ana? Because they love those, well, we love those bags, but you know what I'm talking about. The tier sexuals, they're not picking up Bryan. Why is that? Because Bryan requires a ton of work. As dumb as he is, he requires a ton of work. And among the top tiers in this game, he's the hardest to pilot. So here you gotta agree. I would agree with Ni here. So here we have other parts of a conversation. When people shout for nerfs to certain characters on X, formerly Twitter, it actually ends up happening. So yeah, basically, if you're vocal and you whine enough, characters can get nerfed. This is so problematic because certain characters don't get nerfed at all, unfortunately. Like Clive, Ana, Nina. What is that? Honestly, even when others were voicing their opinions, I stayed quiet. But after seeing the latest balance patch notes, I was disappointed. I think we all were, to be honest. In the previous version, I consistently... But Bryan needed more nerfs as well. You know, your character Ni. I consistently said on my personal stream that there was no need to play any other character, just Nina or Ana was more than enough. Which is correct. They're both extremely strong. From now on, I'll speak up more often too. It's funny, like Ni feels he has to defend Bryan because Bryan gets more shit than any other character. Maybe King is also up there in terms of shit they get. And in my opinion, like you should give Bryan shit. And I see this on Tekken Reddit all the time. No character is hated more than Bryan. But to me, it's such a comedy show. It's like I eat popcorn. It's like an SNL. A Saturday Night Live comedy skit. Do you know why? Because in the same game, you have a character like Ana, you have Nina, you have Asuka, you have Hwoarang, you have Clive. Like characters that are 100 times easier to play than Bryan and are arguably better. It just really makes me laugh. How everyone despises Bryan when there are so many worse offenders in this game. So here, you know, I think he is correct. Like, why aren't people talking about Ana or Nina? Please nerf Nina. Honestly, in Season 2, she's much better than Bryan. I wouldn't use the wording, she's much better than Bryan. I would say she is stronger than Bryan, but it's with a couple of pixels. There's not miles between those characters. Namco's balance team shouldn't listen to absurd opinions from people who don't even play Bryan but still demand nerfs. I've played both Nina and Ana extensively, and this is the conclusion I've come to. Both Nina and Ana need further nerfs. Absolutely correct. But Bryan also needs nerfs. Come on. And here we have our Lord and Savior, VDX himself. Were pros able to give feedback in previous Tekken games? For example, between Tekken 5, Tekken 5 DR, and Tekken 6 BR, was pro feedback able to be provided? If so, maybe more pro voices are needed before Season 3. Pros gave their opinions all the time, but as it wasn't what it was back then, Tekken scene was small. Exactly. Tekken 5 was also almost before social media. That game is ancient now. People forget it's 20 years old, VDX. You were this big back then. You were this big. You know, Evo's back then was like 20 people at McDonald's. And Bilal, Pakistani Bryan says, agreed, I'm gonna play Nina as a second main. She's so easy and rewarding, poking all the time. You can understand this, congratulations. Yeah, esports World Cup ticket. And here we have Dark Mind with a Nina profile pic. I wonder what he's gonna say. Nina is a way better character than Bryan. Bryan has better damage, he has better counter tools, he's safer, he's way stronger heat than Nina. Movement is better approach tools than Nina, that's also plus on block, along with, he's probably talking about Cannonball here, along with Taunt Jet BS. You just want the Williams nerf to win against Arslan and Atif. Wait, you just want the Williams nerf to win against Arslan, Nina main, and Atif. This makes it sound like Atif Butt is like this hardcore Ana-loving main when he's just tier whoring. He's just being a tier sexual. Drop Dragonov, who's still a solid character, in favor of just broken character of the day that's fucking brain dead to play. And also, how disingenuous is this argument? Just does the most favorable comparisons, like mentioning Bryan's strength. But it's funny that you don't mention here poking or rushdown. Which, of course, Nina has the best in the game. Poking and rushdown. But that would be an unfavorable comparison to Bryan, right? And I mean, come on, your counter tools, down back 2, back 4, down 3, back 2. Those are not insanely OP counter tools. And also, yeah, perfect throw game, recoverable health bar, deletion if she breathes. The reality is both of these characters need toning down. They were the ones who kept bringing up Bryan for political reasons first. It's political now. Did you forget? If you know that, don't say something this stupid. I have to agree, that's kind of brain rot. Are you Now we have Anna Williams herself. Are you serious right now? 95 exclamation marks. Serious business. Bryan barely gets touched and you're crying about Nina and Anna. You really cannot make this up. I immediately find this comical because Bryan has at least seen nerfs. What are the nerfs to Anna and Nina? I mean, okay, Anna got her horribly broken string and the vertical bazooka strike reduced from +6 to +2 and saw some chip damage reduction, but like, okay. Bryan he has seen way more nerfs than Nina and Anna. It's the complete opposite of what you're saying here. They basically got it. This is why you can't take the career too seriously. And you know, the same guy will say, oh, Season 2 is so broken. They need to nerf the entire roster. Except for Anna. Because Anna is gutted. And he's saying she needs more nerfs. Wow. Well, she absolutely needs more nerfs. Are you joking? Anna users shouldn't say things like that, and her biggest strength hasn't been nerfed. Scared of Atif and Arslan? Don't think he's scared of those guys. Why would you say something so stupid? You really think someone mentions Bryan because they're afraid of me? So yeah, this is where I'm going to end this video. So this is just some of the conversations you see on Twitter. They get insanely petty. Everyone is... There's not even a shred of objectivity. I do think Nee is being the most objective, but even you would have to go, you know, your character is like top 5. He's hard to pilot, not as difficult as he was in Tekken 7, and he has way more aggressive utility now than he used to have. You know, Cannonball, I'm looking at you, Incinerator, mix-ups. Bryan needs toning down. Absolutely needs toning down. But Nee is also correct to point out that why isn't everyone crying about Anna and Nina? They're better than Bryan and they're easier than Bryan. And he's 100% correct in that. And yet people cry so much about Bryan to the point where Nee feels he has to constantly defend the character. So yeah, I mean, this is basically why Season 2 is the way it is. My character is balanced. Your character is broken. I mean, that's basically it. So I hope you enjoyed this highly entertaining breakdown of what Twitter looks like in 2025. And I hope you all have a great day. Take care.